Okay, it's that time again, babies. I'm going back. I just got my hair cut, but look, she didn't go short in here where she normally does. Have to go back. Center yourself, baby. All right, so what's happening? Yeah, I cannot get through Genesis. I'm having a really hard time with it. I'm not finding much of anything useful in it. I think the whole Cain and Abel story, there's nothing much there other than understanding the communities that put that story together. See God as valuing sacrifice and being particular about it because he liked one sacrifice and he didn't like the other. So, you know, even though that's a very general thing, I think it's a good one. It's one that I've found very important in my walk with God, is that how you sacrifice and what you sacrifice is very important to God. So it's kind of interesting that, you know, I don't like all the details. I can't stand all the God vengeance language, you know, destroying the planet in a flood and saying he's gonna, anybody who messes with Cain is gonna get sevenfold whatever they do to him. I don't buy any of that. I think that's just the community's way of trying to present God as being very particular. And yeah, and I found that true in my life. I really feel like God is very particular. So it's interesting, you know, it's like there usually seems like there's something to glean from certain passages. But, you know, I went through all, like, my YouTube channels, and I didn't realize there was this option where you say, do not recommend this channel. So I spent a lot of time yesterday doing that. So now I have a really nice bunch of recommendations on my YouTube. Whatever you call it. You know, comedy is big with me, music, scholarly, scriptural studies, and prophetic ministries, as long as they're not too nutty. So yeah, having fun with that. So what do we have for today? What do we have? Oh, I just wanted to tell you how much I'm loving speaking to you like this. I look forward to it, like it's the highlight of my day. And why is that? That's because I'm putting myself in a position to be used of God to help others take their next best step of growth. Yeah, that little piece of guided inspiration has been hugely useful to me for years now. And every time I put myself in that kind of a position, I'm like immediately happy. I feel peaceful. I feel inspired, excited to see what God's going to do through me, because I don't do it based on a plan. I do it based on being empty and allowing Him to teach you through me. So some of you might say, well, some of what you say I don't find very inspirational. So how do you know it's God? Well, that might be you more than me. Or it could be me. I'm not saying I'm a perfect vessel. But in my spirit, if I'm feeling at peace and I'm feeling like the words are coming effortlessly and they're full of life, ready to find a fertile place in you to help you grow, I can feel that. And if I'm just being full of myself or trying to bring attention to myself or my knowledge, that's not gonna, just even thinking about that makes me ill. So yeah, you stay focused on God using you for the betterment of others, and everything will be okay. Will your circumstances be exactly the way you want them to be? No. But your growth will be exactly what you need. And you have to be patient while that change takes place. So in that way, anything that comes to you is an opportunity for growth. I'll give you a good example the other day. I don't know how well I survived the test, but let's say I've done worse before when this has happened. I got about 20 minutes into my commute back home before a 3-day weekend. Nice weather, feeling great. Got 3 days ahead of me. And then realized I left my phone at work. So I had to backtrack. I had to remind myself of what I'm saying to you right now. This is just an opportunity for the patience of God to be established in me as an unshakable, unmoving characteristic in who I am and who I am becoming. Was I joyful and fully thankful and rejoicing in the moment? Not exactly. But I was better than I'd been in the past, where I'd be like swearing, just like so upset with myself and kind of yelling at myself. Didn't do any of that. So, making progress there. Another thing that's going on with me that I thought would be useful to you, for you to hear is, and I've said this before, that God's just taking certain things out of my life just because I have this focus. For instance, I would always play piano, stream it live for about an hour to 3 hours a day. Yesterday, I didn't feel like doing it at all. That's very unlike me. Very unlike me. Does that mean God doesn't want me to play piano, play to secular music anymore? It might be. I'm not sure. But one thing I do know is He wasn't leading me to do it. I can tell when God, you empty yourself, you can kind of feel like what the Spirit of God wants to do. And what He had me do was clean up my YouTube so I wasn't getting a bunch of stuff that was either distracting me or upsetting me because it was so stupid. Stupid meaning fundamentalist Bible nonsense. And also just wanting to be in a place where I'm pleasing Him. So yeah, it's all good, baby. And also, I'm like totally, every weekend, I'm always looking forward to going to church. Because there's evidence of God's Spirit moving, either in a good message from people or in the prayers that people are offering up to each other that show that they're tuned into God and they're able to pray for someone without really knowing what that person's particular need is. The Spirit of God lets them know. And I'm totally excited about being in that environment every week. It's like I look forward to it. Whereas I used to be like, oh no, I got to go to church. Out of sort of a feeling of obligation. So let me finish just by saying, you do what I'm telling you, and the discipline that God puts in your life is going to become a joy to you. And it's going to move from one thing to another, and you're going to be more and more disciplined. And you won't feel like it's an obligation. You're going to feel like it's a, privilege to be in the presence of God and know that you are a source of joy to Him. All right, babies. See you next time.